Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We are here in Old Sharlayan in Labyrinthos, or I guess that's not Old Sharlayan, but we're in Labyrinthos, ready to continue with the main story quest. I am on my Dark Knight right now because, and my Dark Knight is, what, level 86 or something? Yeah, level 86, because my Sage and Reaper have both hit 90 now. So, after I finish Labyrinthos, I will do those role quests before whatever what I assume will be the final zone of the game, of the expansion, of the the 6.0 expansion will be. So, on to start with, we'll do Minion Roulette, and we get Mystic Weapon. This is one of the things that was in Stormblood, wasn't it? It's weird. I mean, it's not like a weapon. It's a weapon, and maybe the little gremlin thing is like the spirit of it. Here we are. Only slightly cursed. It looks pretty cursed to me. While out on a venture, your retainer... Oh, it's from a retainer thing. Your retainer discovered a time-worn blade and took it in their hand, whereupon a peculiar creature manifested. Though the weapon was believed to be cursed, the retainer was reportedly not concerned, as it was to be given to you in any case. Oh, so it wasn't concerned because it wasn't ultimately their problem. Lovely. This is a really caring retainer I found. Urianger. Hither and Yarns. Or Hither and Yams? I'm not sure which that is. The pall of anxiety over Sharlayan Hamlet has thinned to much more manageable levels. Good. Urianger, thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the Lothbrokes. Not disposed to rest on their laurels, several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, and so shall I remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. Am I needed elsewhere? Thancred, as a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alisaie. Last I saw, she was still struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I would go myself, but we both know whose help she's less likely to scorn. That's fair. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Later. See you. See you, Thancred. So you're at the... Oh, holy shit, we got a bunch of new quests here. Side quest time. So we got Gleaner's Wish or the Lad... Let's start with the Lad in Labyrinthos. Alright. Are you... Mussalfret, are you the aforementioned lad? The lad in... No, it looks like you're not. The lad in Labyrinthos. Mussalfret is awfully worried about something. Oh, what am I to do? I don't know. Ah, you're that adventurer who helped out the students of Baldesion, aren't you? I suppose it matters not to you, but my son seems to have run away. Why was there a child here in the first place? That seems kind of judgmental. I thought only researchers lived here. Ah, yes. Simply put, my wife and I work at Aporia, and she happened to conceive while we were living here in Sharlayan Hamlet. I assure you, we had many sleepless nights wondering if we should quit our jobs and leave Labyrinthos, or entrust the child to a friend of ours who dwells somewhere more suitable. Ultimately, we decided to continue our work whilst raising the child here. After all, our research is focused on the very future our offspring will inhabit. The issue, however, is that the magic that prevents us from revealing anything confidential is too potent to be used on children. Of course, we can't allow the little one to roam freely. There's no telling what he might impart unto others. So he has spent his entire life thus far within the confines of Sharlayan Hamlet. That's a restrictive life. We recently had a slight spat with him, and well, he decided to flee. I'm surprised he was able to. I'm surprised there wasn't some magic to limit him to the town. Or so, maybe a little electric, dog collar, but maybe that's not the most humane thing. I don't have kids in real life, just in case you're worried. I imagine me going after him would only make things worse. Could I ask you to talk to him in my stead? I'm sure he'd be much more willing to listen to you, to anyone other than his parents at this point. Yeah, we've all been there. Oh, thank you. Verpaulaine, my boy, is most likely in the plaza to the east. I cannot imagine he struck out any further on his own. Okay. Wow, he's really not far away at all. Did you even try? Did you even look? Because he's still in Sharlayan Hamlet, it appears, if he's just over here. Maybe he's not just over here, though. Are we looking for, like, a torn scrap of cloth or something? Fine. Oh, there's Verpaulaine. I'm just the world's worst looker, and here I was getting on the father. Verpaulaine, what? Who are you? Ah! Stranger danger! No, it's okay, Verpaulaine. Verpaulaine. Found you. I am not going to go home so easily. No matter how persuasive your voice may be. You probably won't believe me either, but I've noticed that all is not right in Labyrinthos. Why don't you try telling me first? Yeah. What have you found? He's surprised that I'm even considering listening to him. Fine, I shall tell you what I've seen. The color of the artificial light here changed recently. Like of the sky? I'm sure most people haven't noticed, but when you've spent your whole life here, the difference is like night and day. Even so, no one will take me seriously when I bring it up, all because of my age. Got into a big fight with Father about it. Really? I'm surprised they won't believe you, because, like, the final days have been making things weird, and I actually trust you. I trust that you're... I mean, again, you've had more experience. A larger percentage of your life was here than anyone else's. But Labyrinthos is in danger. Who knows what would happen if the artificial sun broke? That's why I can't go home just yet. I need to get to the bottom of this first. That's noble. Although, I'm scared to venture outside on my own. They say there's countless monsters out there. I don't suppose you could come with me. I could pay you. It's not much, but I do get pocket money from my parents. I'll gladly take your money. No, you don't need to pay me. I thought you were different from the rest, but now you're treating me like a child, too. This is a proper deal, all right? You've got to take my money to make it binding. Okay? Yeah, sure. Then it's settled. That's fair. It's a fair response. All right. So this is a chain. Verpaulaine, here comes the sun. Verpaulaine is chuffed that you're helping him. I'm ready to go if you are. Oh, I suppose I should tell you a bit about the artificial sun first. It's got an engine called a reactor that burns with fire ether. My theory is that the reactor has too much ether now, and that's what's changed its color. Ergo, we should go to Phobos. I know someone who works there helping to control the artificial sun. I'll bet he'll let us have a look around. It's in the medial circuit, so we should head for Logisticon Alpha first. Follow me so you don't get lost. You've never been outside here, dude. I have way more experience than you do. Okay, is he going to be dead when we get there? Probably not. Verpaulaine did not die. They don't usually let me into the medial circuit, but having you here changes everything. I don't want to be vouching for you, for your safety, but I guess that's what I'm doing. Vadaloisan? Something like that. Hello again, Verpaulaine. You and your friend are free to go through. Oh, you've been here before. Okay. Verpaulaine, you have my thanks. It's so tiresome having your freedoms limited because of your age. Anyway, let's make our way to Phobos. Phobos monitor. Oh, hello. Are you here to have a look around? I must emphasize that touching the buttons within, however tempting, is not permitted. It is tempting. Verpaulaine. He said I can go and have a look. Wait here. I'll let you know if I find anything. Okay. I guess he's supervising you, so that's good. Verpaulaine. Well, he showed me the control panel, but there didn't seem to be anything wrong. The reactor's records didn't contain anything worth noting either. Phoebus monitor. That's what you were worried about, eh? You do realize this place has been around as long as Labyrinthos, and we've never had a single problem. Oh, now I believe this kid more than ever. Nor have we been able to confirm this change in the light's hue you speak of. Are you certain you didn't just stare at the sun too long? We advise against that for a reason, you know. Ah, dismissive again. Yeah, no, I believe the kid. They can talk down to me all they want, but I know what I saw. If there's nothing wrong here, it simply means the root of the problem is elsewhere. Let's go. Okay, I'm all in. I also, on the way here, I did a fate and hit level 87. So, inching closer. Verpaulaine. Fiery thirst. Verpaulaine is deep in thought. Thank you for sticking around. It's nice to be believed for once. Now that it's clear the problem doesn't lie here. Oh, look at that! My minion was just like grabbing onto the scimitar and hanging on for dear life. Now that it's clear the problem doesn't lie here, we should move on. Let's take a look at the supply route the fire-aspected ether travels along from the elemental reactor to the artificial sun. You're going to be a good engineer one day, kid. I learned a while ago that the sun automatically goes into overdrive to maintain its brightness if it gets less fire ether than it needs. If that's what's happening, there must be a problem with the reactor's ether supply. To know for sure, we'll need to check the flow of ether to see if there are any spots where it's abnormally weak. To do that, though, we need an etherometer. Maybe we can borrow one from Mariel Agronomics. Then we won't have to go out of our way. Okay. The quest to save the sun continues. Verpaulaine. See, I fed them a lie about helping with some research and they lent me an etherometer. Excellent. It's important to teach this kid early that lying gets you places. Come on, let's see if we can pick up any abnormal readings. It's a cool etherometer. Kind of looks like an astrolabe or something. Just as I thought, the concentration of fire ether is too low. It seems to be weakest at areas south of here. That must be where the problem lies. You can tell that just from the etherometer? Yeah. Nice job, kid. Well, when you've got a father who's an expert in etherology and a mother who's a mathematician, you'll learn a thing or two. What's more, I was born and raised here. It'd be embarrassing if I didn't know it better than everyone else. That's fair. Still, this kid must have have an eager mind thirsty for knowledge. A fiery thirst, one might say. Now, let's get to the bottom of this. Oh. Okay. Verpaulaine. I've identified the problem. There's an anola here. They're normally only found near the elemental reactor. I can't say for sure if it came here on purpose or simply got lost, but either way, it's clearly been feeding on the fire-aspected ether. Most of the ether travels deep underground on its way to the reactor, but the supply route is close to the surface here. I imagine the anola must be pretty powerful at this point, if it's been here absorbing all that ether. No doubt its core is full of it. Yeah, we have to, what's the term? Express the anola's glands before it becomes uncomfortable. If I can just get my hands on that core, I could use it to convince the adults I was right all along. Do you think you could slay it for me? Yes, but it's important you know that even if it's good for adults to believe you, being right is even more important. Like, even if they don't believe you, you followed your heart and did the right thing. Not you followed your heart, you followed your instincts, and your instincts were right. So the core we got, a core brutally ripped out of an anola. Oof, ow. Nicely done. Can you show me the core? Yeah, here's the little anola core. The little fiery red prostate thing. So this is what an abundance of ether can do to their cores. It's massive. Sorry. Father and the others will have no choice but to believe me when they see this. Yeah, you were right. The hero in Labyrinthos. Verpaulaine is ready to prove he's right. Come on, let's waste no time in showing this to Father. It's time he acknowledged I was right. So this is where you'd been hiding. Is this the father? Yeah. Father, fancy seeing you here. I was just about to come home and tell you about the problem I found with the sun. Are you still harping on about that? You could have got yourself hurt pursuing this nonsense. And you, I told you to bring my son back to me, and instead you go off gallivanting with him. That does look pretty bad. That you asked me for help, and here I am, like, taking your kid out on a joyride, for your eyes at least. We've got proof that not all is well. Okay, good. He's going to listen, I think. Fine, I shall hear what you have to say. As well you should. Oh my, I have never seen a core like this in my life. I see no reason to doubt your suggestion that it was feeding on the fire aspect at Ether. See? So you finally admit I was right about the sun. Well, yes, Mussalfret. Yes, that was... However, that matters not now that I know how serious the situation was. Verpaulaine, what do you mean? Kakushu's already slain the Inala. Surely everything will go back to normal now. Uh-oh. Apparently not. I'm afraid not. If the artificial sun was under such a strain for a prolonged period of time, it could be on the verge of combusting by now. Yeah, we don't have enough problems. We'll need to cool it post-haste. Alas, this requires multiple soma cores. The constructs can be found by Kokol's forge. Please, we've no time to waste. You must retrieve 2 cores from me. We'll begin the process at Phobos. Find us there when you have the cores in hand. Okay? There, we got the 2 soma cores. Soma core, a core filled with ice-aspected ether. Phobos monitor. To think all this was happening right under our noses. Yeah, kid is here saving your ass. Verpaulaine's mother. My son has told me all about how you helped him. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Verpaulaine. You've got the cores? Pray, give them to my father. Alright, here you are, Mussalfret. Did you manage to procure the cores? I did. I am disturbingly close to you. Splendid, let's save our son. Yep, believing your son will help save your son. Mussalfret. Ah, all right. I think we can finally relax. The artificial sun is stable once more. Clearly, we were all so enveloped in our own research that we neglected to keep an eye on the systems that allow us to live down here in the first place. Did you? I mean, maybe a little bit, but, like, you had monitors for it. It's not... So the monitors weren't picking it up? Like, that's the weird part to me. I shudder to think what could have befallen us had you and my son not taken action. You have my thanks for saving us from disaster. No worries, there's still plenty of time for more disasters. Yeah, accept your accolades, kid. And I owe you something else, my son. An apology. I was a fool to ignore your warnings simply because of your age. That's fine, Father, really. In that case, might you be interested in helping find potential improvements for the systems that govern our sun? Oh yeah, the kid's gonna be happy about this. Of course, I can think of several already. And if they're willing to take direction or advice from a kid, then they are doing well as adults. It's a tough thing for an adult to do. And I say this as an adult. I've been an adult for quite a while, at least in chronologically. Verpaulaine. Kakushu, I want to thank you for being so helpful. Could you come and visit me again in Charlie and Hamlet? Absolutely. I'll see you in a second. We meet again with the hero of Labyrinthos. Thank you again. Here's your reward. It's my pocket money, with an additional something from my parents. I will happily take your money. I was so happy you listened to me and decided to trust my knowledge. Your knowledge and your experience. You really have been here for a long... I mean, again, your entire life. Like, you would notice something more than people. Even if they've been here for longer, the fact that a higher percentage of your life has been here, like, I think matters. I hope our paths cross again when I've become a researcher in my own right. I'll be sure to make you proud. You already are a researcher in your own way. We'll have some of your giant Popoto pancakes. Giant Popotos are mashed, mixed with eggs, then cooked to create these light and fluffy treats. That sounds great. Like latkes. Verpaulaine again, thick as thieves. Verpaulaine has something to ask of you once more. Ah, hello again. Thanks once more for your help in sorting out the sun. I've actually got something else to ask if you're willing to hear me out. It concerns a new friend of mine, a young... Oh, I'm so happy. Anything that will help trolls was something I'm willing to do. It concerns a new friend of mine, a young troll I found wandering around these parts recently. Obviously, he's not capable of speech, but he can clearly understand me when I talk to him. You do believe me, right? That's Shaggles. Yeah, I wondered if it was the same Shaggles. Yeah, that's Shaggles. Yeah, me and Shaggles are good buddies. What a peculiar name. Well, that makes explaining the situation much easier. I saw him by Logisticon Alpha. Let's go and see if he's still there. Yeah, he's a researcher at this point, isn't he? Talk about... This is actually a great Lord of Thet's account. This is actually a great point to... Not great point, like a great crossover. A great little Avengers-style crossover here, because these are two people who were disbelieved at first, or disrespected in some way due to something that's really out of their control, and who have a lot to offer Labyrinthos. I like that they're going to meet up. Verpaulaine. This is my new friend. Shaggles, it is a pleasure to see you again. Look at your beautiful face. I don't remember what voice I gave Shaggles before. I've been searching all over for you, you know. Since we last met, I've decided to use magics to improve my vocalization. To that, I've read my fair share of tomes about the subject. It seems your kind are capable of making your vocal cords vibrate, thanks to your ability to breathe through your mouths. Can trolls not do that? Alas, we trolls are incapable of doing so. However, I managed to adapt a wind-aspected spell to enable me to communicate properly. Not that there's anything wrong with nasal gurrs, mind you. I'm not gifted enough to activate the spell on my own, so I set out in search of you once more. It was then I bumped into this clever child. What happened to Nweli Tia, the buffoon? Let's go with Nweli Tia. He wouldn't have been any help, so I left without him. Clearly I made the right choice. While I may not be able to speak with this boy, he still managed to bring you to me. Verpaulaine, you can understand what he's saying? Simply amazing. I knew he had to have some way of communicating. Is it the echo? Is it the echo that lets me communicate? It's been a while since I did the Shaggles quest. I gather he knows a thing or two about Ether as well. Would you mind telling him what I just told you? Pretty grr? Yes. Since you pretty grrred me. Oh, so that's what he's been trying to tell me about. Of course, I'll do my best to help. The wind-aspected ether vented by the earthen reactor ought to help. If we fiddle with the reactor settings a bit, we should even be able to create our own blustery vortex of the stuff. That should be all you need to cast your own spell. Shaggles, see? I've got an eye for people. Take me to this reactor. You were right. I mean, you nailed it in one that Verpaulaine was the perfect person to talk to. Right this way. So we've arrived at past Logisticon Beta here. Shaggles. What a splendid boy he is. I look forward to discussing all kinds of things with him once I'm able to talk. Verpaulaine. I'll be back in a bit. I just need to go tinker with the reactor settings. I learned all about this when I was coming up with ways to better the systems for the artificial sun. See, knowledge you glean one place can absolutely be carried over. You've walked before, and now you're leading someone who's walking after. In your own way. All done. I think our wind-aspected ether vortex should pop up somewhere to the west. Keep your wits about you. There's every chance the high concentration of ether will attract fiends. We don't have any means of protecting ourselves, so we'll need your help. Let us know when you're ready. And I'm glad they relaxed the whole confidentiality restrictions, just because, again, the world's about to end, and so any help is good. Shaggles. Westward grr! Westward grr, indeed. Well said. Verpaulaine, anything from you to say? What should I ask Shaggles for first once he is able to talk? What should I ask Shaggles first once he's able to talk? Made it like Shaggles was Santa. Like, what should I ask him for first? A pony? Artificial wind-aspected ether current. Now that we have Verpaulaine, now that we have found the current, we simply need to let Shaggles take care of the rest. Wind-aspected ether swirls before you. Okay, you got the Shaggles. So this is it then, let me give it a go. I believe in you. Oh, grr. Can you hear me? Yes. Oh, yeah, the victory dance from Verpaulaine. Brilliant, I can finally talk. Verpaulaine, how wonderful. There's so much I want to ask you about, or talk to you about. Verpaulaine, oh, Father, what brings you here? Shaggles, well, if it isn't my favorite buffoon, how'd you know I'd be here? Oh, Noelitia, you can speak? Oh, even your voice is adorable. Oh, so I have to give him an adorable voice. Okay. Mussalfret, a pleasure to see you again. I was just looking for my boy. I have something of great importance to impart upon him. Noelitia, it's a pleasure for me as well. I'd been wanting to speak with Shaggles myself, and now we can reply. Mussalfret, in that case, why don't you all join me in Charlie and Hamlet? There's someone I'd like you to meet. Did you get him, like, an internship or something? I wonder. Mussalfret. Sounds like you've helped my son yet again. You have my thanks. Verpaulaine's mother. I think this is the mathematician? Thank you so much for always looking after our son. You're quite welcome. Studium staff, so maybe this is like an internship sort of thing. Shaggles. What's an adorable voice? Here I am, finally able to talk. No, God, no. What do adorable things sound like? I don't know. Here I am, finally able to talk, and people instantly decide they have more important things to share. Grr. There we go. That's adorable. Noelle. It's lovely that Shaggles can talk, but I do wish he'd stop mocking me. This is why I'm okay with not having Dr. Dolittle powers. I'd be afraid of what my cat actually thinks of me. I think ignorance is better. Studium staff. So that's the troll and the boy I've heard so much about. Verpaulaine. So what's this all about? Mussalfret. Alas, that's not for me to explain. We have someone here from the studium who will do the honors instead. That would be me, studium staff. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I come bearing a message for you two from the Scholarch himself. Shaggles. You mean myself and Verpaulaine? Studium staff. Correct. Master Verpaulaine and Master... Shaggles, was it? Would you two, by chance, be interested in pursuing an education at the studium? If the world doesn't burn up in a fiery pit of monsters. These two are going to be roommates. I want a sitcom about them. I want the whole thing. Word of your accomplishments has reached... It's like a modern-day Doogie Howser. Word of your accomplishments has reached us, and we are all most impressed by your abilities. It would be our honor to welcome you to our institution and help nurture your talents while providing you with ample opportunities to learn. Shaggles, I can hardly believe my ears, but I am not about to turn down the chance of a lifetime. Of course I'll enroll. Alright, let's talk to you about the student debt you're about to incur. Or is this world not like ours? Mussalfret, what's the matter, Verpaulaine? You've more than proved yourself ready to face greater intellectual challenges, to leave Labyrinthos and expand your horizons. Verpaulaine, it's just that Labyrinthos is all I've ever known. How can I be sure that I'll succeed out there? And on top of that, you'd be going... I guess this is more like boarding school. I was going to say, like, you're kind of young, but no, it's not unnormal. I know a pair that entered the studium at 11. Yeah, I think we could bring that into it. Verpaulaine, thank you for trying to reassure me. Only I won't know anyone there. And Shaggles, Grr, what are you talking about? You know me, don't you? Don't tell me you plan to spend your whole life in this fishbowl. There's a whole world out there to explore. Welly, says the troll who's never left Labyrinthos either. Yeah, but he's leaving now. Silence, buffoon! Oh, get wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. By a little potato. Verpaulaine, all right, you've convinced me. I'll go. Studium staff, splendid. Now there are just a few sheaves of paperwork to take care of, so I'll need to borrow your guardians for a bit. Shaggles, none of this would have happened if we hadn't met, would it? Verpaulaine, I would never have gotten this opportunity or made such a wonderful new friend without you. Thank you. I really mean it. I believe you. This is just what I was hoping for. Farewell! Farewell, Verpaulaine and Shaggles. You got this. Again, assuming the world doesn't end, which it may well. Let's go with Abyssal Blue Dye. It sounds badass. I'll probably just sell it on the market board, but still. There they go. And so that's going to be it for this session. Next time we will continue with the side quest here, specifically with Gleaner's Wish next, the next unlock one. I'll see you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you a lot later. Bye-bye.